Hello. Hello, everybody. I know you guys are having amazing conversations, but let's take a moment to wrap them up and find some seating. You're going to have to stand a lot if you don't find a seat, so I would highly recommend finding somewhere to sit before we get started. Okay, everybody, let's just jump right in. So, hi, I'm Nabiha. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about myself in just a minute. If at any point I am talking too softly, just tell me and I'll hold the mic closer to my mouth, okay? So welcome to the Austin Startup Meetup. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what happens in the Austin ecosystem. If it's your first time at this event, can you please raise your hand? Oh my God, yay, this is awesome. Okay, so welcome in. I host this event with Suman Paluri, who is back there, and we'll be doing some short intros. So today we had some networking, and now we're going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about us, and tell you a little bit about what's been happening in Austin, give you guys some resources if you're founders, and then we'll jump right into the best part, the lightning pitches. So, hi, I'm Nabiha. By day, I am a product manager. So I work for a utilities company, Pedernales Electric Cooperative. And then on the side, I offer UX design and web development services for local startups. I'm very passionate about it. Studied cognitive sciences at Rice University and have worked at startups, including running one of my own, where I helped women make friendships in Houston. So I have also pitched in competitions before. I was a top 5 finalist at the annual Rice University pitch competition where I outcompeted PhD teams, MBAs, master's students who had been working on these crazy regenerative physical technologies and in their labs for like a decade. And I was just there with my women's friendship company because it came down to storytelling, right? So I'm hoping that we can hear all of your stories today as well. And now Simon can introduce himself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Suman Poluri. Been doing this meetup since 2017, so a long time. So great to see, again, a lot of people coming over and over to this meetup and also giving me a chance to learn from the community. And that's basically why I do this meetup. And you know, Nabiha, also, why we do this meetup, to learn from the community and also to, to share our experiences and also get your firsthand experiences so we all can build great startups here. And my background, being part of a couple of B2B SaaS companies and also a peer-to-peer marketplace platform. Had a previous acquisition, so I'm still doing a startup called Engaged AI. I'm happy to talk about that when we network later. All right, thank you.
Alrighty. So if this is your first time in this building, this is Capital Factory. There are a bunch of startup events here, usually for free, and it's amazing. It's a great community. I have met so many great people through here. So if you want to join and have a membership, which is a paid membership to the co-working space upstairs, then you can follow this link over here. If you want to host a cool event like this yourself, there's also a link for that. And then they have a newsletter as well on the website. And all of these links are on the Capital Factory website, so just look up Capital Factory and you'll find them. And we have some amazing sponsors. Like I said, Capital Factory, the building that we're in, they gave us the space for free. Founder Dash is a great startup that helps companies flesh out their go-to-market plan before they've even started the business, right? From idea inception, they can get a go-to-market strategy, and that's one of our sponsors. And then JetBrains. So if you want to get a great promo on Founder Dash, you can scan this QR code and you will be able to generate a go-to-market strategy report for your startup. So feel free to scan, take a picture of the coupon code. Yeah, I'll give you guys a minute. Alrighty. Moving on, okay. Next up, we also have another great sponsor for today. So SaaStock USA is a company that's hosting a global pitch competition, and the deadline is April 11th. So if you're a founder and you want to go attend this pitch competition and even enter it and pitch your business, this is the information. The promo code is ASM30 to get 30% off your attendance tickets. So yeah. And if you guys have any questions, someone is the person to ask for more information about this. Do you want to say a few words about SaaStock?
So SaaStock has been, I think, in Europe for quite a while. So they are now doing a lot of events and conferences here in the US. They have done a SaaStock USA conference in 2022 or 2023, right here in Austin. Great conference to go to if you're in a B2B space, especially the SaaS space. And this time they have a global pitch competition coming up. And for those that want to apply, April 11th is the last date. The actual competition will happen here in Austin in May 12th and 13th, I believe. And then for those that want to attend the event, for eligible startups, I mean, the eligibility criteria is given in the link. I mean, if you go to that link, especially you need to have at least, fewer than 35 employees, should have raised less than, I think, $15 million or something like that. So do check the criteria, but then if you want 20 complimentary tickets for the startups that are eligible for that criteria, there's the code for ASMCom, and then for those that want to just attend the event, I mean, there's also 30% discount code. So it happens in the Palmer Event Center on the 13th and 14th of May. So yeah, do check it out. I mean, it's a great conference to go to if you're in the SaaS world of things. All right.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and last but not least, if you are frantically trying to take photos of these slides, just feel free to scan the QR code because it has all of the materials for the slides directly on our website in the form of a blog post. So that way you can sit and enjoy the event and access all of these amazing QR codes and information afterwards, okay? So we have some upcoming deadlines. So in June, the Sputnik ATX applications are open. In May, there's the Health Wildcatters 2025 applications, and they're currently already accepting. And then there's always rolling deadlines for Austin Technology Incubator, Capital Factory, International Accelerator, and John Brumley Texas Venture Labs. And there's also some upcoming events for conferences. And like we mentioned, the SaaStock USA conference is May 13th to 14th at the Palmer Event Center. And summits, amazing. And there are also, in general, so many incubators and accelerators and resources you can access, and here are just a few of them. So if you got a QR code, if you scan the QR code, you'll be able to see all of these great resources and look them up really easily. So, and a lot of the resources online can be free at times, so it's worth checking out. These are more resources. I think now what we'll do is we'll probably go into the pitches first. So before we get into that, the next meetup is on Monday, May 5th, first Monday of every month, same place, same time. So feel free to come by, okay? So we'll go ahead and do pitches. So this is the most exciting part of the event. If you are a founder, and that can mean you literally just thought about the idea on your drive here, or you've been working on it for some time now, and you're looking for investing, okay, anywhere on that spectrum, feel free to come up on the stage and pitch yourself to the room. We love to have a certain schedule where people will pitch for 5 minutes. And in that time, you should complete your pitch, and then if there's time remaining in that 5 minutes, people can ask you questions, okay? But whenever your 5 minutes are up, someone will hold up a sign for you that says, wrap up, and then if you see that sign, it means it's starting, you should start wrapping up your pitch so the next person can go, okay? So that's how it works. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, perfect. So I think we'll sweep across the room. So we'll start on this side. If you would like to pitch your idea, yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I wasn't really planning on doing this, so I have not prepared, obviously, but I think I can make it happen. So I actually work for Deloitte, but on this side, I'm also a real estate agent, and I do have my license for my own investments. I don't actually have customers per se, except family and friends. But while I was doing that, there's a lot of things that happen in a real estate transaction. I'm pretty sure all of you have bought a house at some point in time. And this, like a month-long process goes through 40 different kind of checklist items. A lot of this is compliance. You need to make sure that you hit all those items so you're compliant for your client. Make sure that everything is checked. And there's a number of dates as well that need to be adhered to. So I wrote a software just for myself. I wasn't really planning on selling it or anything like that. But then, as I started building it, I built it to be a pretty good amount of software where, and this is not like, most people confuse this with CRM software when I talk about it. It's not about sales. It's not about, getting customers. It's not any of that. It is you've already got the contract in place and you want to go through the process of selling or buying a home. There's a lot of steps that happen. And even seasoned real estate agents, I've noticed, do not necessarily carry out and hold other parties like the title company as well as the finance companies accountable to their process, because there's like a 3-day turnaround for certain things, 20 days for certain things. So my software basically makes sure that all of these are hit. It is fully templated. It's got, because as an agent, when I do it for friends again, I kept sending the same email over and over again, and, to the different parties, including my clients or my friends in this case. But all of that process is streamlined, and especially for brand new agents, we go through a real estate course, they teach you a lot of stuff, but they never teach you how to actually run a transaction. I mean, at the highest level they teach you, but not into the detail or the weeds of it. Software takes care of all of that as well. I've never really tried to market it until today, I guess, but so it's out there, and it's actually available online too. But so, if anybody's interested, feel free to take a look at it, or I haven't marketed it, so that's another thing. People keep telling me, my friends keep telling me, you should market it, and I'm like, okay, maybe one day, so. Well, that's my product, so. And today is the day I'm marketing it, I guess. Any questions? It's called Property Transactor. Thank you. It's called propertytransactor.com, TER. It's live as well, so. It's free right now, because. Any questions, comments? I guess there's not many real estate agents here, so. All right, thank you.
Who's up next? Go ahead.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for giving me the time to speak to you guys today. My name is Damon Bodine. Relatively new to Austin, Texas. I've been here for 35 days after 10 years in New York City. So, question for you guys. How many people in the room rent your apartment right now? Raise your hand if so. Okay, keep your hand up if you think you're paying too much for rent. All right, beautiful, me too. So that's the whole idea of the company I'm building, which is called Ditch My Rent. 50% of Americans pay at least 30% of their monthly income in rent across the United States. When you meet the 30% threshold, you are considered rent burdened. So we have an entire country of people that are paying far too much money for just their basic necessities, like having a place to sleep. So the Ditch My Rent is built on the idea of using AI for good. So you will land on our platform, and you will put a property link in, an address, something like that, and it's going to populate for you a few different things. First, it's going to tell you the average rent prices in the area. Second, it's going to tell you where we really see the value based on proprietary data we're pulling. Third, it's going to give you negotiation tips when you are reaching out to the landlord and making an offer for the property. And fourth, it's going to actually simulate a live voice negotiation with you if you want to practice negotiating. The idea behind this is that I was a real estate agent for 10 years in New York City. In that period, I rented about 700 apartments. Less than 5% of people ever asked me to negotiate their rent. Little did they know that had they simply asked the question, probably upwards of 70 to 80% of them could have. And so there's a big knowledge gap here in terms of just tenants and their understanding of how the markets work and what their capabilities are. So our platform, it's not launched yet. We're almost there, about a week or two away. And I'm here for any questions you guys might have. Going once? I'm sorry, what was your question? So eventually what we'll do is we'll have kind of a freemium model and then hopefully a premium model eventually, right? Like if you're finding, you can get into the website, you can put a link in, it will pull, like you were a real estate agent, it'll pull comparable data for you, it will give you sort of an idea of where the price is, but there will be other features like the voice negotiation and things like that that you have to be a premium subscriber to use. Anyone? Okay.
The AI thing, where does it being utilized in your system for the?
So it's actually utilized in a few areas. First, we're integrating with ChatGPT, right? And kind of building a bit of ragging on top of that if you're familiar with AI. So essentially, you go in and you put in a link, right? We're going to do a behind the scenes, we're doing a web search, we're making determinations about different comparables in the area, things like that, and we're spitting that information back out to you right within the chat. Additionally, based on how those results come in, and if we're offering you specific negotiation tips based on that. Yeah, also the voice agent that we're using through 11 Labs right now is all AI powered.
I'm assuming you have to sit on top of like Zillow and Redfin in order to get the data. And if you do, what kind of walls and restrictions do you run into in terms of the training data itself?
Yeah, so Zillow doesn't like it when you scrape their websites, of course, right? So right now, we're using a third-party provider called Rentcast to get this data, which is not scraping Zillow directly. We've been experimenting with like the right way to actually accrue the best data for tenants. There's a few other solutions you can pay for, like CoreLogic, things like that. We're trying to roll out the MVP right now, see what kind of parts people are using, and then if we get there and we get users, we'll go to one of those more enterprise-grade solutions later on. Anyone else? So you have to really kind of, I've tested it with like friends, past clients, things like that. Like I said, I was an agent for 10 years, right? So I would just get 10,000 questions all the time, right? When I've been kind of validating the idea now, I've just been kind of sending, our site to people, having them play around with it. We've also done some like Google ads, things like that, just to sort of like see what kind of questions people are asking. And that's how we're sort of building out kind of the the training layer on top of the LLMs that we're using.
Can I double down here? How do you think about the lifetime value of a customer? Because it's kind of like the dating app game.
They're gonna churn very quickly, right? And that's actually the idea, is that if we're gonna have a premium model, we don't want you to be a consistent subscriber. We want you to be able to get the value out of the service, and then hopefully create a network effect from there where you tell your friends, hey, this helped me save 50 or $100 a month for my rent. But we're not expecting people to be like, you know, full cycle consistent subscribers. All right. Thanks, guys.
Who's next? Anyone else want to go over here? Okay, sure.
How's it going, guys? My name is Angel, and this is Arthur. I'm Texas born and raised, been here all my life. Been here in Central Texas about 2.5 years. I went to Texas State, where I met Arthur. And we're working on a website/app called Fork Edit, and I'll let Arthur take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many people here have ever run into the issue of pop-ups and ads and just stuff cluttering your field of view when you're trying to look for a recipe? Oh, I'm seeing some hands. Okay. So the way this works is we plug in any recipe URL, or any name in the world into one unified platform, and you get back the results clean, ad-free, clutter-free immediately. And with one click, you can deliver groceries. We've got a partnership with Instacart, so that's where all our revenue comes from, so you don't have to pay a single dime. And we're excited to announce that we're rolling this out nationwide as of last week.
Yeah, Fork Edit will be your personal recipe destination and AI companion. Perfect for any household. You get off of work feeling hungry. It'll give a recipe right on your phone, and you can check out all the ingredients directly from Instacart, and it'll show up right at your door. So, any questions, guys? Yes.
Does it stack multiple recipes?
Yes, it returns multiple recipes if you query with a word. If you query with the URL, it will return just that singular recipe. It works kind of like a browser, but with the added benefit that it removes ads as well as SEO filler text.
Sorry, I should have been more clear. Like if I want to make multiple meals, can I stack multiple meals?
Yeah, so you can add multiple meals by clicking the button, and both will be added to the same Instacart cart.
Yes.
So this weekend, wanted to make gumbo for the first time.
Yeah.
Go on Complexity, and it just go, it just gave me the recipe without anything. How do you guys compete with that?
We've got a couple of differentiators. We've got a system for predicting macros, so nutritional information. We've got a couple of linear regression networks there. In addition, in the very near future, we're looking at adding a discount on Instacart. So part of that 5% that we get might be redirected back into the consumer, your pocket. And we are building out some community effects so that we can have a network so that you can explore and collaborate and edit on the same content.
Do you have an SEO plan? Since I tried searching for it just now and couldn't find your website.
We have indexed ours in Google. We haven't indexed in any other search engines yet. We're going to be releasing some blogs down the line. Currently, we don't have much content there yet, but we will be producing that shortly. In addition, we're going to be putting backlinks all over the internet on existing social platforms like Reddit, Facebook. We've got a list of targeted communities that we want to attack, but we'll see how well that works going forward.
Does it work for paywall blockers?
Depends on the site. I would have to do more testing to tell you specifically what this works for. If it has the actual recipe content behind a pop-up that says subscribe for, $9.99, it should be able to pull that content. But if the content is like completely removed from the DOM tree, it might not be able to get past that.
Is it interactive and does it have memory? So is it going to remember that I hate oranges and not put oranges in recipes?
We've got a couple of flags you can see for common recipes on our landing page. At the moment, we do not yet have flags on the actual product. Down the line, that's on our feature list on our roadmap.
Cool. Any other questions, guys? Alrighty, thank you for giving us the stage. Check out Work Edit. Thanks, y'all.
Okay. Anyone else over here before we move on? Okay. Anyone else who wants to pitch over here by any chance?
Hello, everyone. My name is Manny. First time here. So I'm a senior director of engineering for another company. On the side, I started building a product. Product name is Tally, TALYI.com. The product is onto a recruitment platform. What we are trying to build is, right now it's live. What it does is we help with the screening process where, any startups or anybody who cannot afford a recruiter, right? You know what's happening with the job posting. When a job is out, you get like 500 resume. What do you do, right? So we help the hiring manager and recruiter to reduce that list. We do a AI-based matching algorithm to tell which candidate match the closest. After that, what we do is we send as a hiring manager. If I choose, okay, I need to talk to John, you could define what question you wanted to ask. We do a video screening, a 30-second question for, say it's a screening question. It's not a full-blown interview, right? So 30 seconds for each question. We send it to the candidate, where candidate get to do a video interview, so you could avoid all this, a bot candidate or a fake resume coming in. You could avoid all those things. So hiring manager get to see who the candidate is, and the recruiter get to see who the candidate is, right? Because you have the feedback, the interviews, has been given. We generate a transcript. We give them, how close that answer matches, so that as a recruiter or a hiring manager, you get to see that feedback. So basically, before a recruiter takes a phone and calls a candidate, right? Or, that 500 resume goes to a hiring manager and said, tell me, what do I have to do with this one? Pick top 20 and let me go talk, right? We're cutting down all this human intervention so that the software can take care of most of this part, and then the human intervention happens next. So that's the first version. We solve the screening problem. Next, what we are working on is, end-to-end workflow automation, where, you just ask what you wanted to do, right? I want to hire a Java developer. We want to build on a complete automation that, tells you, here are the 2 people you need to talk to, or hired, right? That's a level of automation we wanted to build. We're working on it. So that's a product. And if you are a startup and if you are hiring, right, you get to use my product for free. Your first hire is on me. Okay, you could use my product for free. I'll give you 3 months license. You could use it, even 3 or 4 job position to fill. Okay, talk to me anytime. I'll be here. Any questions?
What's the website?
Tally, TALYI.com. It's just a talent. I was looking for talent, then I want a little bit like shorter version. So I was like looking for Italy. I took the I out and put it at the back, so it's like Tally. Any other questions?
Who do you think is your biggest competitor?
I mean, there are a lot of ATS is there, but right now I'm focusing only on small startups, right? Like that's my sweet spot right now. But if you talk about big ATS, Greenhouse or Hashbee or Lever, all these guys, right? They have a matured ATS, been in the industry for very long. But I don't think they do end-to-end automation and all this stuff, right? You got to still do manually, right? I mean, you could talk to anybody who use Liver or HPHQ, right? They're going to still say it's everything you got to do manually, right? There's no complete automation. If you're familiar with, I don't know, like Tines or, Zapiers, like end-to-end drag and drop, that's the level of automation we're working on right now. So you just have to come and ask what you want it to do. We'll tell you offer letter is sent, right? So basically, it could be an inbound candidate sourcing, or we're also working on outreach candidate sourcing. If we can match and do the nurturing and everything, right? So end-to-end, if you completely automate, it's going to be a game changer. So that's what. It's already live. Yeah, you could go check it out. Talk to me if anybody's hiring. Free products. Yes.
I'm curious, if you have one, is there a value proposition for people who are seeking jobs as well as the hiring managers to interact with your platform?
So I can't help the candidate coming to me. It's a B2B. So I sell to company can use the platform for hiring, right? But a lot of things we could do. Example, as a candidate, you come in, you see the job posting, and you have a lot of questions, right? Hey, it says Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the work from home. Can I do Monday and Thursday? We're going to build an agent that sits at the top, and it could answer, because as a recruiter, the company can upload all these documents, and then we could query and give it to you. So there are a lot of opportunity. We're working on it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Tally. T-A-L-Y-I.
Okay, who's up next? Anyone else want to go in this section right here? Alrighty. Well, we'll do another sweep around if you guys change your mind. So anybody at this table want to go? Alrighty, come on up.
Hi, my name is Derek Whippler. I've been in San Antonio for about 20 years or so. I'm out of Geekdom. I've been working with some mentors there. We just changed branding on this, so the pitch is brand new. I'm probably going to read most of it. Anyone who's been on, the product is called Curator with a Q. Please don't look up the website. We haven't changed the branding. It's terrible. Anyone who's been on a Zoom call knows how unreliable the internet can be. And yet the world is dominated by software on the internet. You expect software on the internet to be reliable, yet making software on the internet is notoriously reliable. And in fact, most companies just punt on the problem. They don't really solve it. Banks spend millions of dollars on making their transfers and their experiences very reliable. This is where Curator comes in. It takes care of those resiliency problems by providing developers with a platform for building software that is resilient to failures. Regardless of what industry you're in, this can help you. The same system that we developed at my previous company to send billions of emails a day, this is the same system that was able to reliably send those emails out, regardless of whether somebody, regardless of what the internet was doing that day, we were able to send these billions of emails. The world of software is shifting once developers realize that resilient execution systems like Curator can bring to their lives and make their lives easier. They're going to demand to have these things. Companies are going to demand to have these things when they realize the cost efficiencies that this kind of a system can bring to their infrastructure. So the question isn't if they're going to adopt these things, but when. There's already a player in this space. Adoption has already begun. We're on the very beginning of that adoption curve. And I am trying to capture a bit of that market. And that's all I've got. Thank you. Any questions? So this is the difficulty in selling this. It's not deployment. It's not orchestration. It's, I want to take a bit of code that's in your service, and I want to execute that code reliably. Like, I want to be able to execute it once, and if that service fails, or if there's something that that service is connecting to or talking to and that fails, somehow, some way, that thing gets to run at least once. And that's a hard problem to solve. Again, most people punt on this problem, right? It's not the deployment, it's not orchestration. Any other questions? Yeah, this is a hard product to sell. It's really, we just changed the branding. I was working with my mentors a couple of days ago, and they're like, yeah, that story is all wrong. Don't do it again. Yes, we're still, yes. Yeah, so most, so I'm doing contracting. I've done contracting work for a crypto company. They want to reliably send crypto from one exchange to another. That has to happen once, and it can't fail, right? Curate is a perfect use case for that. To do that manually takes a lot of development effort. It takes a lot of reading and writing to the database. Here's the state I'm in. I'm changing to this state. I have to retry. Here's how many times I retried, right? All that stuff, all that complexity is expensive, takes time. Curator solves that for you. I'm sorry? Yes. All right, so it's adjacent, yes, right? Originally, Curator was just a queuing system, and on top of that queuing system, you can build more resilient systems on top of it, based off of messaging, yes. And in fact, the competitor in this space is the same thing. They started there and then built this on top. And the part that's missing is the resiliency that's, so the messaging allows you to resiliently get messages back and forth, right? The problem then becomes, how do you do retries? How do you make sure that if the message isn't picked up, it's sent again? How do you know that it was idempotent when it happened, right? Those are the hard problems.
Can I ask you a clarification?
Uh-huh.
So, are you thinking of systems like Kafka or something like that, or am I missing something?
No, this is not Kafka. This is, if you want to think about it from a messaging perspective, originally, if you go to the website, it says exactly once delivery, right? So we're solving the exactly once delivery problem. All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, anybody else from this table right here? Alrighty. Anyone back there want to pitch on the stage right now? Okay, what about at this table right here? Okay, come on up.
Thank you. How many of us have a debt in collections in this room? I know it's fine. It's kind of an embarrassing topic. So my startup, we are in the financial technology industry, and we're trying to solve this debt crisis in America. 68 million Americans have a debt, at least one or more debt in collections. And then on the flip side, there is $150 billion in recoverable debt each year in the United States of America. That is insane. That's a large amount. So what we're doing is we're saying, all right, one, this is a crisis, but also there is a gap between the original lender providing the loan to the customer, that debt going unpaid, the original lender trying to recover the debt, and then that debt, the customer not responding. So let me start that part again. Original lender provides a debt to a customer. Customer does not pay the debt. There is a grace period of time. They try to collect on the debt. Debt goes uncovered. They sell that debt to a collections agency or a debt broker or a debt buyer or. There's so many like agencies and groups and categorizations within this middle area. They would buy the debt and try to collect on the debt. If they do not succeed, then the debt goes again into your credit report. That's when they report it to the credit agency. So you have grace period 1, grace period 2, where your debt goes through that process before it gets reported. Most Americans do not realize it until it's too late. It hits your credit score, your credit report, and now you have to go and dispute it. It would take another 6 to 8, 10 months before it gets removed, which would hurt your purchasing power. It hurts everything. It ruins people's lives. We're trying to solve this problem to say, hey, what if there are debt out there that you're not aware of? Can you type in your name in our application to scan for hidden debt that you didn't know about or debt that you forgot about? So you might have moved, you might have driven on the toll road, you might have gone to the hospital and then the doctors, the hospitals charge crazy amounts, random amounts that you don't expect come in the mail. You didn't check the mail, you forgot to open the envelope, so many reasons. But the point of the matter is, type in your name. We are going to search the entire nationwide debt collection databases and then report back to you, display any debt that we find in your name for you. That's the whole crux of what we're building. So protect your credit, find hidden debts. It's very simple. That's our slogan. The name of the company is Debt Finder, and we're currently undergoing testing just to kind of finalize, all the bugs and fix a few things. We are also on the journey of integrating and partnering with a lot of the debt collection agencies all across the United States. That's gonna be the big piece of it, right? So it's gonna be free for customers, search your name, find all the hidden debts, and then for the collection agencies, they can pay us to utilize a lot of our features like, negotiation tools. We're gonna integrate with AI to streamline that communication piece. How can you dispute a debt? How can you really verify a debt, validate a debt? I mean, there's so many like gray areas of a debt collector being able to even collect on that debt that we want to just make easy and seamless for customers. So that's the application. Any questions? Yes.
How do you, can you just search anybody then in that database? Is there a privacy concern with you just wanting to search anyone you know?
Yeah, so you have to create an account. So we would have a customer, B2C, B2C customer profile, right? So as a customer, you can sign up. And then we're also gonna have B2B, where a credit repair agency can sign up and say, hey, I'm a credit repair agency and I want a business account so I can search multiple clients and then figure out what that looks like. But of course, we're gonna, figure out a way to protect that privacy from, like, if you're a debt repair agency, we need your business details and everything so we don't get in trouble for, displaying information of people to you. But it's gonna be a user per user, kind of setup, yeah.
Is the big point before it goes to credit, so basically it hits the market again, and that's when you guys are trying to basically...
No, so we wanna catch it right when the original lender lets it go.
Okay.
Yeah, so we wanna catch it first part, second part, third part. Yeah, I think currently Experian and a lot of the credit bureaus will show you debts that are in collections. Credit repair agencies are advertising, hey, we'll fix your credit, but they only can see debts that are already in collections. Up until then, there's a lot happening here, and you don't see it until it's too late. I was buying one of my properties, and I had a $150 debt in my collection. And I was like, dude, come on, like $150, no, that's not true. So I had to fight that. Thankfully, it was a bank that I've worked with in the past, so they just fixed it, and it was removed from my credit the next 30 days, the next cycle, right? But not everyone has it like that. And I mean, it's a huge crisis. Collection agencies can't even collect on the debt because it's 150 billion. They only collect 20 to 25% every year. So there's another 150 billion, 120 goes unrecovered. If we can say, collection agency, come here, customer, come here, let's figure out how you guys can talk. Like, give him a deal so he can pay because he's going through a hard time. It could be just a million ways that we can try to bridge that gap. Yeah.
So do you have plans of reaching out to the customer as well?
Yeah, the customer acquisition is going to be the easiest part. I think it's we're going to be on every screen, every ad, every social media. Google. We're going to be everywhere as far as like, hey, check your name for hidden debt. You might not. Right. No, so we're not going to do that. We're just saying sign up, and then you sign up and you take that action. Yeah. So no. We're not capturing or scraping like customer data. We're not doing that. We're just saying, hey, we're here. Come, use our app to try to find that information. No. Yeah, I think what we're doing in that regard is we're identifying the areas that have high collection, like debts and collection, and saying one city is Laredo, so we'll probably have a lot of ads in Laredo to say, hey, use our app to search your name, right? San Antonio also came up on the list. So those are some of the ads that we're going to be running, but targeting like geographical areas that have this kind of problem. Yeah. And then we're going to be running some promotions to say, hey, maybe we'll provide like $5,000 towards any debt you find on on our application. If you search your name through our application, that's customer acquisition methodologies. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think that is something that we're going to have to build trust with our customers on. But I think the selling part is not part of our financial model because it's not a strong financial model for us. Our biggest, like revenue generator is going to be getting collection agencies to integrate with our platform. So we're getting their data. They're the ones that want to get paid. So they're like, hey, if you truly have 1 million users, we want to like partner with you because we have 20% of that million users who probably owe us some money. So they want to get paid. I think that's where the revenue is, instead of like trying to sell the data, because there won't be any revenue or profit in it for us. Yeah. 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 So the gray line, the gray area with that is even though the debt is not collectible until you acknowledge it, they're still going to be able to report to your report on your credit score or your credit profile. So at the end of the day, ignoring a debt does not stop the debt from going away. They're still going to get it, and they'll chase people down just to try to recoup their debt. Yeah. So thank you. Sorry, I don't want to take those.
No worries. Okay, anybody else at this table right here want to come pitch their idea or their company? Okay, anyone back there? Okay, any of y'all want to pitch your ideas? Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Mohanad and I'm tech founder. Actually, it's not easy job to me to explain the model because it's a little bit complex, but I need some help from you. I want to choose one from each section, like make it 4 sections, and I just will ask a question for each one to highlight the problem. Then it will be easier maybe to anyone to understand what we are building. So who is ready from, yeah, okay, so from this section, who's ready to answer? Yeah, it's just a question, very simple question. And here, this section, yeah, okay, okay. So here, maybe you also ready, okay. So my question, how many supermarkets or markets you usually order from and shop from? 1, okay. And for you, how many restaurants you usually order from?
Like in a given week or?
Yeah, it's like favorite restaurants.
Probably like 4.
Okay. And how many clothes or sport clothes you are shop from? Yeah, clothes or anything. Okay, so any favorite stores, restaurants?
I can answer the grocery store one, just one.
Okay. And okay, fantastic. And for you, for how many restaurants, maybe? Yeah, 5. Okay. Okay. So here, the favorite stores or restaurants or clothes or anyone start building their application, and they spend thousands of dollars to convince you download their applications. But most of people order from Uber Eats or the marketplaces, because if you have a 5 or 3 or 2 favorite stores, you will not download one app for each one, and you will have a 5 or 6. And especially, we are not talking only for restaurants. We're talking about restaurants, clothes, and cosmetics, and anything else. So the standalone applications is fail. Standalone application is fail for any vendors, and they spend many too much for convince the people, but they don't know that the people not download many apps for single vendor. So we start to solve this problem. The marketplaces like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and any other marketplaces win this game and they start take high commission from the vendors, and they control all the data. We solve this problem by provide you marketplace, empty marketplace. Like when you download WhatsApp, WhatsApp is just empty app, nothing else. So we will provide you as a user a marketplace with empty marketplace, and you can add or collect all your favorite stores and restaurants, and you will customize your marketplace. You will create your own DoorDash or Uber Eats from all the stores you like. Shops, cosmetics, electronics, and anything else. Then, after you building your marketplace, you will have a QR code to your marketplace. You can share it with your friends and families. Also, anyone will order from your marketplace, you will gain percentage from the vendors, because actually you are doing the marketing for them. So for the vendor side, they have their own application, and the users will create their marketplace, and they can share their marketplace to their friends for just exchange the experience or fun, or also maybe if they want, they will take percentage from the vendors. So we solve it in this way, and we came to Austin, invited by the largest accelerator called the Founder Institute, to start from Austin. So I'm here actually to build the team, and I invite anyone from have business or marketing background to join me. This model is validated. We have 500,000 downloads and more than 160 paid businesses, and it is success. So that's encouraged us to come to the USA and start from here. If anyone have a question, I'm ready here to answer. Yes.
So your users add their favorite grocery store or restaurants, and they just order from those places?
Yeah, you will add all your favorite stores or restaurants by QR code or phone number, and you will create your marketplace. You can order directly from them. Yeah, and they also can connect directly with you by push notification. They can do loyalty system points and anything like this. Yeah. Yes. So mostly we work on the loyal customers, and every restaurants have a loyal customers, but they cannot convince them to their online presence or like a website or applications. So we mostly focus on the loyal customers to the brand, but also if we take it from here in the future, the hotels itself themselves, they can do a collection for them or marketplace. So when you land to any hotel, they provide you the QR code for their marketplace, which include all the stores that what their customers like. Yeah. Yes.
Does the restaurant or store have to already be affiliated with the app before you add that? Or are you like taking people's recommendations and going to those restaurants and saying, hey, we have like 20 people that want to get added to this app? Or how are you facilitating that exchange?
Okay, so we don't have, as a company, we don't have any direct connection with the end user or the customer. We will provide it to the restaurants or the vendors, and they will promote this to their customers, like a WhatsApp. WhatsApp, it's not direct from the company to the user. You maybe download the WhatsApp from your friend, they provide you their number, and you will connect directly with your friends. So it's like this, it will be like this.
You're basically selling to the companies,
Yes.
and they're selling their customers.
Yeah, they will tell their customers, add me on this platform. This is my number, or this is my QR code. Take like 30% discount for first order. It will be in this way mostly. Okay, so I think any question we can in person because I saw the time is done. I want to thank you everyone. And, okay.
Okay, anybody else on this side of the room want to come up? Alrighty, okay, so we can go back around. I know a lot of new people came in, so anybody else want to come in this section up on the stage? Okay, once again over here, anybody else? Okay, anybody over here? Okay, perfect.
Good evening. My name is Sam Texas. Yes, that's my name. You can ask me about it. Ask me about it later. It's a good story. I've been on eBay. I've been on Craigslist. I've sold feet pics. I'm guessing some of us out here have done the same because life is fucking hard. Life is fucking expensive. And the side hustles are real. The side hustles are many. Go on the subreddit, what is it, Side Hustle or Side Gigs? 3 million users, and it's a very active subreddit. People are innovating at the bottom. People are figuring it out. And I've had to figure it out. I'm still figuring it out, and you're still figuring it out. What's amazing, though, is that for all these side hustles that are out there, I just want a fucking directory. I just want to be able to go to one place and see all the things that I could possibly do. Because everyone is creative. Some of us are beautiful, some of us are less so, whatever. And I just want to be able to see, I can sell stuff, I can make stuff, there's digital platforms for this and that and this and that. I just want a directory. And so, fuck it, I made it. Sidegig.directory. I don't know what I'm doing. It seems to work. People seem to come there and I get messages about it, and I thought, well, why not? On a lark, I'm jump up here, we'll talk about it. I would love to know if you guys know there's a directory out there or something. I haven't sprinkled any AI magic juice on it yet, maybe I will. That's the pitch. It's just a directory of all the side gigs that I can find globally, so it's not just the US. It's got Europe, it's got Asia, and as I find them, they get added. Yeah, you can probably monetize with all those things, but right now I just would love to find a way to get everyone interested, pick your brains, what's in there, what can we add to it, what requirements are in there. Some of us need bank accounts. Sometimes you can use cash. People pay by crypto. It's wild, but you don't know until you get in there and start onboarding into these platforms. You get all the way in and then you realize I'm not in the right jurisdiction. I'm not in the right club to have that. So sidegig.directory, that's it. That's the part where you ask questions. Gentleman back. I did sell. There's a great story on that. I mean, the internet is huge, and it's full of weird people, but as an experiment and a joke, we tried it, and they sold, $5. So, all right, thanks. Oh, no. Well, Craigslist is a local marketplace, right? You have to sort of dive into the specific one. And it's a marketplace. You post an ad. I just want to make a directory of, hey, Craigslist exists. Hey, Blocket exists in Sweden. Hey, Gumroad exists with a lot of these things in the UK and probably other countries. So it's literally like, if anyone's here old enough to remember Yahoo directories or DMOZ, it's kind of like that. It's just pointing you to where you might want to go and discover that on your own. I think there is an opportunity for community, to develop community there. I don't know if people follow Greg Eisenberg, but I think he's probably onto something with community first stuff. I think that's probably a way to go. I don't know how to grift the community out of Reddit. They're a salty bunch, but I would love to. You're probably absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. So look, it's really building in public. It's really early. I love that phrase from Reid Hoffman, if you're not embarrassed by your first release, then you're already too late. And I'm embarrassed as fuck right now, so. Anyone else? Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Cool. Sidegig.directory. I need a log line. If you guys want to give me like a quick hit, I would love to hear some, but there was a question in the back. Nothing yet. I mean, it's like nothing fucking works. So but it's just a directory. My thinking has been this, right? We can sign up, and it's like, if you notice when you do sign up and you go to one of the services, you can click, I'm a side gigger. Now, that's probably not a great name to call yourself on the site, side gigger, but I think sort of like the nascent elements of having a community. Because I would love to connect with other feet pick sellers. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. I think there's a lot of community aspects, and I see a lot of that conversation that goes on in that subreddit. You'll find me lurking there quite a bit because there's a lot of great ideas, and I think a big part of it is to graft a lot of those ideas out of subreddit and get them into this platform, because we need a specific community for this kind of stuff. There's clearly a global demand for it, and I mean, the shit's not getting any easier out there. So, one more. There's the backlog of things I want to do is absolutely there, and really fleshing out not just each specific platform and the requirements and things about it, but also just the higher level categories of the things that you can do, right? Because if you want to do labor-oriented things, there's a set of requirements. If you want to do driving-oriented things, obviously you need to be licensed in the jurisdictions where you operate. And I want to be able to sort of outline the requirements just to get into certain types of gigs. I find a lot of those questions come up quite a bit. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, I think this is final call. So please, if you have any tiny morsel of an idea and want to come up on the stage now's your chance. So, okay, yes, come on up.
So how long am I allowed to? 5. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this is Michael. This solution is set on my real customer experience or customer journey when I was in Finland in the last 15 years. I'm politically active, and being politically active does not, come with an easy cost. So what happened to me, in a word, is that when I go from one entity to another, one private entity to one public entity to another, I get abused. And I want to report my experience, the abuse experience that I have, but I don't have any other solution. Long story short, what is my solution? I have this review it all solution where all service providers, be it private, public, government, would be associated with a unique ID, and customers will be able to review that service provider based on a place, time, and so on. And this data can support decision for government, decision for partners of service providers, for law enforcement, among others. That's all and that's it. Review it all.
What's it called?
Review it all. Review it all.
When somebody write a review, how do you verify if it's actually happening or not?
That's a very good question. So whoever is going to have a right to have account on the review it all should be able to authenticate, for example, through a net bank or social security, among other legit authentication mechanisms.
You mean like bank ID?
Bank ID, for example, in the case of Finland, we use bank IDs to literally, log into different kind of services. But in the case of the United States, I think it's social security, right? You use social security, or what do you use?
You can't log in with that.
But what do you usually log in with? Like there is something, like it should be either bank ID or something.
There's not a bank ID. I mean, login. Well, I mean, there's a national ID service inside the bank ID.
Yeah, but in any ways, but the long story short, but the most important thing is that whoever is going to have ID and the review it all app or portal should be authenticated beforehand. So that would be different for each and every country. Germany has its own, US has its own, China has its own, but they would be authenticated beforehand.
Is there any a chance for the service provider to, hey, actually, yeah, we did this or we didn't do this, the report is not true?
If and when the customer write whatever he or she deem is right and appropriate at his discretion, they have to expressively sign that they would be liable legally. So disputes could transcend into court. Number one, for example, as you said, it's going to support decision for customers to know, for example, how that public, private, or non-governmental service provider does business or interacts or creates a value with the customer. It also helps governments to have a top view, granular view of how that service provider serves or interacts with maybe for somebody who's politically exposed person like me, with a unique person, how that service provider interacts with certain races, how that certain service provider interacts in a certain geographical environment, among others. The use case is tremendous. Sorry? Yeah, but this comes handy, especially the value proposition with regard to use case, annotation or instantiation with spatial geolocation, time, and how the features of the products are organized, and how also the authorities will be able to have granular view of the experience of customers, sliced and diced in different geographical time, among other variants. Yes, sir.
The only kind of blocker that I feel like could be something that you should take a look at is, so here we have ID Me, which is kind of like taxes, social security verification. I'm not sure how many people have that service, and I don't know if somebody leaving a review or a complaint would want to like use their social security for something like that. So I think with the presence of consumer protection bureaus, BBB, generic reviews, you kind of have a few, like competitors, a few stacks of agencies to consider while as you kind of, set this up and introduce it to the market. Those are the only, like, I guess, areas that I think would be potential competition.
Yeah, for example, for the case of the US, even European Union, I mean, they work, very cooperatively. It's possible to introduce an online ID for the exclusive purpose of gathering, because this data is very important, because you have over 300 something citizens in the European Union, and I mean, around 300 in the United States, and government, needs to continually gather intelligence data about each citizen, each resident, especially regarding the services. It could be a supermarket, healthcare, education, among others. So one is that there could be a unique ID exclusively tailored for meeting this need. Another, it could be specific to each and every state. For example, you mentioned about a certain ID thing, but that's like a software engineering problem. So for customers in a specific region or state, they will be able to log in through what is convenient for them. But for example, for the case of, for example, Europe, it's possible to log in or instantiate the login through, for example, NetBank, among others. I mean, it's going to be a very portable and interpolarable ways of like logging in any ways. But it's not going to be a difficult, problem to solve. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, last call. Perfect.
Hey everyone, my name is Sabi. This is super random for me, so this is not real real pitch. I just came for a Google development group meeting and actually ended up here, and this is even more interesting for me than that thing. So because I do happen to have an app I'm working on right now. It's called Swipe Flow. I don't know how many of you are familiar with these automation frameworks like Zapier, Make.com, IFTTT. So there's a lot of traction there with AI-generated content. And the idea here with Swipeflow is probably many of you also familiar with Tinder. So basically, it's a manual approval step that it can be added to the automation workflow, and it's very generic, so any kind of approvals, like even vacation, HR, whatever applicants' approvals can be made by swiping. So that's the key idea. Still, I think the main use case is not the corporate HR world, although I want to make it template-based, so all the cards will be very generic, so anyone can design their own card and fill with data, connect with their own APIs. But the main use case is still for content creators, which is, there's a lot of them out there these days on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. And currently, the image and the video, like AI, models are not completely there yet. Although it just is 2 weeks ago, OpenAI just released the GPT-4 version of their image generation, and that's pretty awesome. That's a big step forward because now it can generate amazing typo-free text as well as any kind of content. So it can do Instagram Reels, I mean, not Reels yet, right, but posts, and hopefully the same will be released for Sora, for videos, as well as maybe DeepSeek comes out with something more cheap. So the idea is that content creators will automate their content generation workflows, and they just get daily a few, like whenever there is a new something to review, it shows up, and then they just swipe left or right. Right can automatically post to Facebook, LinkedIn, or their blog website or whatever. Left, it's rejected, or even like comment, and then it can be added back to like as a refinement for the AI. Yeah, so that's about it. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Okay, quick question. Can you walk through a use case example?
Yeah.
I understand what you're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to hear from you, like what the use case is.
Yeah. So the main use case, there are many use cases, right? All kinds of these corporate approvals or anything that on this make.com, Zapier, there are thousands of apps. For content creators, yes. So for content creation, there's like a source of truth, right, from prompts, for example. It can be a sheet or a database, or it can also be, it can also come from AI, like ChatGPT, basically. Like give something that is relevant for today, this day, like from history or mental health or whatever your niche is. And then you go to, like currently, OpenAI only provides these DALL-E 2, 3 versions, which is not great. It cannot really do text. It just hallucinates, terrible. But soon in the next couple of weeks, this ChatGPT-4 will be available on OpenAI. So you're gonna pay like 10, 15, 20, who knows how many cents per generated image. And then you add my app like SciFlow, which is currently on Zapier, but not public yet, so it will need to be reviewed. And then you install the app, and any times your automation workflow runs, and any content you generate will eventually create a review item in the app. And you get a notification, and you just click start the app, and then you just start swiping left and right. So instead of spending hours and hours of creating this content manually, I believe my vision is that the future is going to be that more and more of this will be automated, and this will be a big competition for the current human like content creators and influencers. Yes, exactly. The idea, yeah. I integrate with all these main platforms.
And the creation of the workflow itself is not what you're doing?
No, although I plan to provide templates to make it very easy to start with.
All right, thanks.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Okay, I believe those are all of our pitches for the day. So next up, really quickly, if you parked in the parking garage and you need parking validation, please find me after we're done with the next portion, or find someone, so you can only pay $8 instead of like $1 trillion to park there. And yes, I think we can move on to the next portion of the event, which is if you are hiring, as in you are hiring talent, or if you are very talented and want to be hired, please feel free to raise your hand and come up and tell everyone a little bit about what you're looking for or what you can do. I personally pitched myself for the first time at this event, and I had so many great conversations after telling people about what I do, so please don't be shy. I know a lot of y'all probably don't have jobs, so feel free to come up and talk about yourself. Okay, yes, come on up.
Hello. My name's Ben. I'm finishing up graduate school at UT Austin in aerospace engineering and entrepreneurship. I decided I don't want to do engineering anymore. I've been doing sales and marketing for about 7 years now, and I run a sales coaching and mentoring business. So I help entrepreneurs build like referral-based networks, get more repeat orders, more on like a larger scale products than necessarily like trying to get like thousands of clients. So I work with anyone that's kind of trying to get things from like a $100 to $10,000 average order for things and help you build referral-based networks. So I've never actually coached outside of my current business model, but I'm kind of curious how it would apply. So interested potentially in starting my first startup as well. So if anyone's looking for someone to partner that needs sales and marketing skills and also has entrepreneurship experience from UT, be open to hearing about it. Thank you.
Yes, come on up.
Hello. I'm a new grad. Name's Ian Off. I'm looking for work in, well, it could be a startup, could be a bigger company. My background is an interdisciplinary engineering degree built from the ground up around the skill set of a founding CTO. So kind of a dot connector between different experts and getting in the weeds and technical details, or working on like the how and why to build something in terms of systems engineering, business requirements, user psychology. So if there's a project I could help with, let me know. I'm interested in getting something on my resume or finding something long-term if it ends up being a good fit.
Perfect. Okay. Anybody else want to? Yes, come on up.
Hello. Hi everyone. My name is Ashley. So I graduated from UT with my bachelor's degree and my master's. I got my master's at Georgia Tech with a computational data analytics degree. I worked at Walmart as a software engineer for almost 2 years and worked on projects to implement some new features and enhance some existing features as well. And I had done some data pipeline projects where I did create a data replica to route through the data through Kafka streaming and help customer to build their API as well. So I'm looking for a job right now. So anything that's software, data engineer, or analytics, data science, and those kind of areas, I will be interested. Yeah, just let me know if anyone has a long-term. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, come on up.
Hi, William and Tim again. We might be needing you, but we are hiring for kind of a sales / account representative team because we're going to be working on capturing collection agencies and trying to get them to like onboard with our our current system. We already have an onboarding team that's ready to go. That's kind of like already enrolling, onboarding, agencies and credit repair companies, debt buyers, debt brokers. But we want to put together like a sales, or we're not currently selling the platform. It's free, so it's just partnership. Like, hey, partner with us. These are the benefits. Let's see how we can help you recover more debt. And then, so yeah, if anyone is interested, let me know.
So very quickly before we continue, if you want to get a free JetBrains subscription, 100% free, guys. Scan this QR code and fill it out. People will still come up and be presenting, hopefully. And then at the end, we'll do a little raffle, okay? So I'll give you guys just a second. Do you want to talk about what JetBrains is?
Yeah, JetBrains creates a lot of tools for software developers and software organizations, and a lot of the tools that you're seeing there, they're used by programmers like the Java programmers or .NET programmers or Python programmers. So any technology folks that might be using these tools, or if you have anyone in your network that might have use for one of these tools, it's free. So we'll do a raffle, and yeah.
All right, I'll give you guys just a minute to fill that out. Okay, does anybody else want to pitch themselves? Yes.
Thanks, guys. My name is Wes. I run a consulting agency where I help people grow, scale, and monetize podcasts. I've got just about 10,000 YouTube subscribers on my podcast, and I've also helped some of my clients get over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. So if you're trying to build a personal brand, or you want to launch a podcast for your startup, whatever it may be, I'd love to talk. Just come find me. Appreciate it.
Anyone else looking for work or hiring?
This is back to my product again. And so since I have not marketed it yet, or didn't even plan on it, but it's still an excellent product. I use it obviously for all my transactions. So if somebody's interested in taking on that opportunity to market the product, one thing I don't have is a budget to market it. Neither do I have the time to market it since I have another full-time employment and this was a hobby project. But I think it's got significant potential once it's marketed. It could be marketed not just in Texas, but it could be nationwide. So, I mean, there are like 1 million real estate agents just in Texas or Austin, I forget the number, but there's tens of millions across the nation. And so even if you capture a small percentage of that market with a small subscription fee, it can be a significant amount. So, but obviously you got to put in your sweat equity. I will do the same from my end. If you're willing to join this team of one person, could become two. I'd be happy to, support you in your effort, and then we can share the profit, if you will. So, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, come on up.
Should I stay here? Okay. Hi, I'm Hillary. I'm a UX designer and researcher. I know everybody here is still pretty early on, but even if you just want to run your product by me, I'd love to look at it. I think it's really helpful to get eyes on it and test your product with people other than your friends or your immediate network and just have somebody to play devil's advocate. So yeah, if you want to talk, I'm here.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Nobody else is looking for a job. That's great. So we're all employed. Amazing. Okay, so I can tell you guys a little bit about myself. So like I mentioned, for my full-time job, I'm a product manager, but I have a lot of experience with startups. So currently, I, on the side now, offer freelance services for UX design and web development, particularly front-end development. And before I did freelancing, I took a stab at entrepreneurship myself. I ran a women's friendship company in Houston, and in the span of about 4 months, got 400 paying customers and made like $11,000. And the only reason it ended is because my co-founder had to move, because she has family or whatever. So that's what happened. And then before that, I worked for a Stanford alumni company where I helped them get about 15,000 users over the course of 9 months as a product manager. And then before that, a med tech SaaS company, and yada, yada, yada. The first company I worked for was successfully acquired last year. So I would like to think I like to be part of winning teams, and if you're looking for someone who can help you make your first MVP or improve your current website or your app, and just give you brutally honest feedback that comes from a place of love, right? I'm happy to be that person. So this is what I look like. Come find me if you want to chat. And yeah. Anybody else want to talk about themselves or if they're hiring? Come on up.
All right, so I am looking for a co-founder, preferably somebody with marketing, sales. This is, again, this is going to be a challenging product to sell and market because it is a highly technical product. To maybe gain some interest, there is a competitor in this space. They started a year before I did, and they've raised over $100 million to go after this market. And I am an army of me. So I am interested. If anyone's interested, come talk to me afterwards. Thank you.
Okay. Is that it, guys? I think that's it. So I think we can do the JetBrains giveaway now. So if anybody changes their mind after the giveaway, you have one last chance. Yeah, so you can go ahead and do that.
All right. So let's see who's the lucky person tonight. Ashley. Oh, awesome. Congratulations. So we'll be giving you the coupon code. I mean, I don't want to show the coupon code on the screen, so I will give you the coupon code after this. Okay. But congratulations.
Okay, guys, so last call. If you're pitching your business, if you're pitching yourself, if you're hiring, this is your last call before we head into networking. Going once. Okay, one more hand. There we go.
Hello guys, my name is Ryan Hayes, and my LLC essentially is a day trading operation. It's called DAGS, and the really cool thing about DAGS is that I'm just looking for an investor for a non-dilutive profit participation agreement. So in short terms, what does that mean? Essentially, that's going to be saying that there's going to be no equity, no dilution. It's just a straight pure profit from the actual investor side. And the really cool thing is that it avoids anything that includes something that would be along the lines of a Series 7 security agreement. So basically that there's three big indicators about that. It's not basically going to be, there's no equity, no dilution, as I mentioned earlier. Aside from that too, it's not going to be acting like as a hedge fund or a private equity on your behalf. And I'm not going to be giving financial advice, right? It's just a simple exchange net profit sharing agreement. And the cool thing about DAGS is that out of all the things that you can trade nowadays within the world, about $7 trillion is traded every single day on the market. It is between Forex, commodities, crypto, binary options, et cetera, everything you can trade. DAGS only trades Forex. And what that basically means is just like foreign exchanges, currencies all around the world. And among those Forex exchange or commodities, there's about 160 that you can trade. DAGS specializes in only 8, which basically means that there's been like a proven strategy that I've been doing for the past 2 years that works on, let's say, like a 2-to-7 ratio scale. And so it's really cool because out of all the options that can be traded in the world, DAGS only focuses on that one out of the thousands between all the ones that I just mentioned. And yeah, that's kind of like the gist of it. Specifically with DAGS also, amongst only being centered and focused on Forex, obviously the long-term solution is to bring some sort of AI implementation that can be focused on things outside of that, such as futures, indices, et cetera, et cetera. And the cool thing is you can train a model to do that with this specifically in Forex and AI, which is Forex, it can go also be like very, very expansive. So just an example of that, if I want to trade a model that's outside of the common pairs that I usually trade with, such as EUR, USD, GPP, JPY, et cetera, once that model has been sustainable or proven to be sustainable and successful, then we can move on to something else such as crypto. As you guys know, right now the market is very, very volatile because of everything that's happening in the world, such as the tariffs. And that's really cool because it can play a part into macroeconomics. And that's basically trading off of news events. And so that strategy kind of falls into that prospect as well too. And yeah, it's kind of the gist of it overall. Any questions or? I know day trading isn't like a very common thing, so there's a lot of anonymity there. All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, so I think those are all the pitches, I believe. So what we'll do now is we'll just end this portion of the event. So you are free to socialize with anybody you'd like. And if you, once again, if you want to pay only $8 for the parking garage in this building, not street parking, just this building, find me, find some of the other hosts. We'll give you a little slip of paper, and you can scan it on your way out. Otherwise, I will be getting back on the mic at 8:45 to start kicking you guys out because they are really strict about leaving the space on time. So just keep in mind, 8:45, we gotta be out of here, okay? Thank you guys so much.
Are you trying to build a podcast? It really depends. I mean, I don't know. Some people want to like do it at their place and stuff. So yeah, like I have a studio. So some people just want to use that. Some people want me to
trying to maybe make it an auxiliary human.
I'm
Is there any
trying.
is
I'm
anybody
trying.
else trying to come close to that idea?
Not yet, but it's internal right
Should I
now.
tell you like some people who's not American who learn English as a foreign language, but sometimes in written context and force American for the issues.
I will get the word out. No, I just moved here recently. New York. Yeah. So you moved
definitely